A baby crawls toward the edge of a glass table. The glass is solid. The floor is visible straight through it. He freezes. No one taught him to be afraid. He has never fallen from a height, and yet his body refuses to move forward. In 1960, psychologists Eleanor Gibson and Richard Walk built exactly this kind of table at Cornell University. They called it the visual cliff. Infants who had just learned to crawl refused to cross the transparent border, even when their own mothers called them from the other side. How does a child who has never fallen already know what to fear? The answer lies 40 million years in the past. Our ancestors, primates, lived in trees. A fall from height meant death or injury. The individuals whose brains reacted with fear at the edge of a cliff survived more often. Those who felt no fear left no offspring. That's simple math. Natural selection. Fear of heights didn't start in your head. It started thousands of generations before you were born. Scientists call this an innate response. It isn't learned. It's built in. But here's what's strange. Fear of heights isn't universal. Some children crawl straight across the cliff without hesitation. Some adults become rock climbers. Why does the same gene produce such different results? In the 1980s, researcher Karen Adolph began observing babies as they learned to crawl and later to walk. She found something unexpected. Fear of heights isn't a fixed program. It rebuilds itself every time a child learns a new way to move. A baby who has learned to fear the edge while crawling loses that fear the moment he starts to walk, and has to learn it all over again, standing up. The body doesn't remember fear in the abstract, it remembers fear through movement. So what happens when movement changes forever? When a species stands up on two legs? Around 6 million years ago, human ancestors began walking upright. This lifted their eyes 1.5 meters above the ground. The horizon widened. But falling now hurt more. Walking upright freed the hands, but it also made falling from height one of the leading causes of death among early humans. Anthropologist Louis Binford, studying the remains of early Homo species, found skull and bone fractures consistent with falls from cliffs and trees. Bones don't lie. Height was killing people, so the body learned to fear in advance, before the pain ever happened. Have you ever noticed your palms sweat at the edge of a rooftop, even behind a solid railing? That's not panic. That's an ancient alarm system firing automatically without asking your permission. The amygdala assesses height faster than the rest of the brain can even think. This is safe. You don't decide to be afraid. The decision is made milliseconds before you're even aware of it. That's why fear of heights can't just be talked out of you. Logic arrives too late. But fear has a flip side. Humans are the only primates that deliberately climb to the most dangerous heights. Mountaineers, steel workers, skyscraper builders. How does a species terrified of heights end up building the Burj Khalifa? The answer is that fear and attraction to height were born from the same source. The same upright ancestor who feared falling also reached upward, toward fruit, toward a wider view, toward safety from predators on the ground. Height was both a killer and a shelter. It threatened and protected at the same time. Maybe that's why a modern human can be terrified of a glass-floored elevator and still buy a ticket to an observation deck just to feel that fear on purpose. We didn't overcome the ancient instinct. We learned to turn it into entertainment. Next time your palms sweat on a high balcony, remember this. It isn't weakness. It's 40 million years of evolution, still trying to keep you in the tree. Fear of heights isn't a glitch. It's a letter from your ancestors that your body has never thrown away.